Good morning, everyone. Virgo here. It is November 6, 2019. Happy Wednesday to everybody. And I have some breaking news this morning, thanks to a subscriber who forwarded me some breaking news worthy information with regards to the Moorish American Consulate. Consular General Shalimar Bey is who you're looking at right now. He was one of the consular generals, along with Taj Tariq Bey, and was also one of the parties that we did a expose on, asking some questions with regards to who he really was. So the breaking news this morning is as follows. This was a post that was made on November 3rd at 1:23 p.m. by Phoenix Micah L. It says, to all heirs with a MAC number only, meaning a Moorish American Consulate number, the Moorish American Consulate is looking to select a new co-consular general. If you know of a qualified candidate who you would like to nominate for consideration, please email your vote to newconsulgeneral@gmail.com. I mean, really, come on, y'all. Can you not, actually have your own email address stuff? Do you really need to use free email? I mean, you clearly have your own website. It's just, there's a lack of professionalism when you're using a Gmail address for business. Regardless, this will be open for the next 7 days only, after which voting will be closed. Do not reply to this notice on Facebook. I will only receive candidate recommendations via email. If you do not have a MAC number and are not part of this movement, then this is not for you. Gee, I wonder who they were talking about. Let's take a look a little further here. It's funny, I think they are arrogant enough to actually believe that people are trying to infiltrate them in terms of getting into the movement in a higher ranking position to see what they're up to. We all know what you're up to. You're scamming, and that is not something that you need to be on the inside even to determine. It's extremely easy to see that. Another person responds to that post saying they're replacing Shalimar. And Phoenix Micah L comes back with, correct, he resigned. I'm wondering whether or not Shalimar Bey resigned because of the fact that he finally recognized that what they were doing was grifting, and they were being called out for it, and maybe looked into information to determine that, hey, what we're doing is not only wrong, but illegal, and could be considered, something that would be fraud, or something that might get us into a whole lot of hot water, including potentially a RICO charge. Or was he called out for his history of working with the government and decided that he was doing more damage than good to the scamming and is still somewhere in the background? I'd like to think it was the first description, but to be perfectly honest, for somebody who was that deep in, I think he already knew they were scamming. Regardless, Phoenix Michael L was responded to by Abraham Bey, stating that can't go by the standard of not being identified in your prospective status and aligning brothers and sisters to build temples or study groups to where we will all be studied up, or I would be jumping for the spot. So we have a new consulate general that we're going to be looking at. And we're going to take a look at who they are when they actually get on the board here. Let's take a look at the actual website. So as you see, we still have the grifter Amir Taj Tariq Bey. Woo! Amir Taj Tariq Bey, Consular General. And the Co-Consular General has a flag, a Moroccan flag. So we are actually waiting to see what happens. And when it does take place, when someone does actually get placed in this section of the website and we see that there is a new co-conspirator to this scam and grift that they are running on their own communities, their own grouping of individuals, sad scenario, we will be looking into that person in addition, just like we did Shalimar Bey, because let's face it, we all know that Taj Tariq Bey has been a con artist for a very long time, decades. It can be traced back to the 80s. But let's see who has the audacity to sit next to him and care more about a temporary title that will eventually, by the way, get them brought down on some form of charges, because you can't continue to run a scam on this many people without it eventually being found out. And when these grids are completed by these individuals that end up being homeless, like so many are coming to me letting me know, so many that are actually going back to the consulate and saying, please help us, because we've lost our homes, because we've done what you've asked us to do. We stopped paying our mortgages. We stopped paying our car payments. And now we're homeless and living in someone's backyard. You can't do that to too many people without those people finally contacting the FBI or Homeland Security and turning you in for what you're doing. So let's see who thinks that they can beat up more of their own community, or let's see who is arrogant enough to believe that they'll never get caught doing it and willing to sit in the seat next to con man number 1, Taj Tariq Bey. Here's something to listen to before you go.
I'm in Northern California. That's where I am. And right now what's happening, I'm actually at the end of the repossession process. And so in a couple of weeks, I should be, to the point of, finishing that out. I'm really scared because, I have no idea what to expect from the results. My consort has helped me through this whole process, and he's done a beautiful job. We've had almost nothing come back except for yesterday. Only had one lien come back, but everything else has gone well. But basically, I'm homeless, and I'm in someone else's yard, and they've asked me to leave pretty soon, and I'm just not sure I'm going to have enough time to get it done, and I'm just scared, to be on the street. And I've worked so hard over the last, few years to learn everything and to study, to make sure the documents are correct. My attitude is right, and I'm reaching within, and speaking with the ancestors. I don't know, maybe it's just all an illusion, but I'm just scared. Islam.
I just okay. Okay. Let me speak to that, and others can speak to that as well.